Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you a Vyse Lotus setup guide kind of situation. I know that Lotus is going to be leaving the map pool very soon, but apparently it probably won't get changed on its way back in. And I got Lotus enough times while I was trying to test out Vyse overall, so I figured might as well put together this one and get this one out too. So let's get into it. Alright, as always with mine, we are going to start on the A site of Lotus. Goodness, we're already flubbing it. Um, because she's a lot better on Lotus once you know where to put some things. And I was not expecting it. She does feel like where you can play Fade at, basically. And I'm not saying that you replace the Fade on any of the comps, but any spot that you think a Fade can just chill, I think that's where Vyse can chill too. So, you see that I've placed that one right here. This is good for if you want to play in this little nook and cranny here. So, I put this wall here. Once the barrier drops, this is a barrier wall. This is if you don't want to play inside. But if you just look onto this little vine tree part, stem, whatever, over here, you can throw that wall and people have to kind of commit to it. Now, you see that this is where that wall will be. I'm bringing the highlight up. It does cross at a certain point. So, if that's rotating, I still gotta find the like particular interactions. But there's another one that was a little bit deeper that if you want to make sure that they have to like come all the way out, not necessarily like they just. This first one that I showed is if they flip the switch and you just don't know the information of if anybody's tried to come out. It'll trigger, might not stay, but it'll trigger, and you have that information. This one is if you have confidence that they won't spam the ever-loving fladoodle out of you before you can come out, and they trip this. So, that's why that's situational. Depends on how the enemy team is playing. This Razor Vime's just here because throw one in here. I didn't find anything interesting in this room so far, and that's that. All right, interrupting our regularly scheduled program because I completely forgot to throw this in there because I'm a dumbass. I wanted to show how you can have anti-Viper wall for probably pro play. This will get thrown up, and it's purely anti-Viper wall, if I'm being honest. It'll get thrown up. It won't catch anything out here, okay? This is behind the pillar, so they won't know exactly where it is to come out and shoot it with enough time. But when Viper wall gets thrown across, it is catching people trying to play sneaky most places. You'll just get the information. This is pretty much a sky flash purpose right here. You can move it around on this wall. I was still trying to find one if to try to get it on something like that. I couldn't, but you can pretty much get it on several places this wall. You have to be careful not to get it too I'll show you. Oh, and I'm aiming right under like these leaves when the barrier is. So as soon as that goes up. Cool. You want to be careful not to get it like too far gone because of course that'll block it and then clearly somebody will be right here. So you kind of want to put it a little bit closer as you can. For purely anti-Viper purposes. Blinding still catches the wall, but yeah, if you can workshop it a little bit harder, you can probably find something deeper or more appropriate for that ledge. Yeah, all the ledges, if I'm being honest. So This might not be one that you want to have too high, but at the same time, it's got to be like pitch perfect. Let's see where that one is.
Flashing.
Yeah, it doesn't catch things like that. So
Retrieving
pretty
flash.
much the first one is the best variation I've seen of that so far, or I've found so far. I shouldn't say seen. I should say I found so far. But I don't know. Probably another hour or two, you might find something, but I didn't feel like
Blinding
looking
crack.
another hour on that. This one, it's getting shot immediately, but this will let you know if somebody's playing outside of V
Retrieving
main.
flash.
Maybe if you want to put it there as a distraction while another teammate flashes and swings out, who knows? And of course, waterfall.
Flash placed.
That goes up. People don't hear it at first.
Blinding.
I'm sorry, they'll hear it, but they won't see it at first because they have to clear this, and they can't just swing out to come try to find where that might be.
Flashing.
And you get information
Blinding.
the entire time. So, those are
Retrieving
defense info flashes for Lotus that I completely forgot to add. Back to the rest of whatever the fuck we were at. Now, why there? You're playing here.
Blinding.
It doesn't flash you. It flashes whoever's coming in. Whoever's trying to clear you. They come in. Bam.
Flashing.
Get taps. Now, the other reason is why you see that I noticed that I don't have it like over here in the middle is because it also catches
Blinding.
people coming out here.
Flashing.
You can get it over just a little bit more,
Retrieving
but
flash.
you still want it to be on this.
Flash
Because
placed.
any further, and
Flashing.
sometimes if you aren't careful, some of the like leaves and stuff will block that flash. But hey, you want to make sure you're aiming pretty much for about that spot on the wall.
Blinding.
Now, you see that I have these. This is typical barrier, put the wall up, you know, if they're coming. But this one, you kind of have to aim for like the greenness here. As you can see, it's a little bit
Placing wall trap.
varied on how you
All
can
set.
get it. So, you can throw a couple of them.
Placing wall trap.
That one is terrible, but if you kind of just aim on this tree,
Wall set.
you could get one to your liking.
Wall set.
And that's for that one. You can also crouch to get some extra
Placing wall trap.
accuracy if you really want. But yeah, throw that one, of course. That'll let you know if people have come out. And that's another way that you, if you don't want to use this one, because this can be jiggle peaked, assuming nobody's playing. You don't have a teammate here or you're not playing there. You know, this one can get tripped a little too early, and then, you know, they're still creeping and they're pushing here, yada yada yada. But they do this one, you know that they're committing, and they're probably not pushed over here because we have these. Now, for these,
Rip and tear.
you have to like,
Rip and tear.
exactly, like you have to
Launching thorn.
look at this, and it's kind of hard to look where it is when I have them pre-play, so sorry about that, but I put these down so I don't forget the little spots. But
Throwing back
set
to
that
base.
up. They're not, you'll hear if somebody tries to push up the stairs on your team, and meanwhile they have to execute. And these, same kind of situation,
Launching thorns.
you have to look like directly
Rip
on
and
it.
tear.
Eh.
Rip and tear.
Sorry, I don't know if you can see on my screen, but like it's very, you can also do it this way.
Launching thorns.
If you look
Launching thorns.
straight on it.
Rip and tear.
Of course, when you want to record. I should have
Throwing back to
moved
base.
all these, but
Launching thorns. Rip and tear.
you get the point. Goodness, I can't see
Launching thorns.
with these in the way.
Rip and tear. Thorns are alive.
just gonna pop all those. And I'm not taking that out. You all will see all of that. But just gonna let this fade away for a second.
Drones activated.
Bam. Place that. And also, that one is going to cover both some of the walkout here, but as you can see, it doesn't last very long. As well as some upstairs. That again doesn't last very long. So this one is if you want to place
Drones are live.
both of these and you have the security that nobody's going stairs and they're starting to execute here. But the reason that I like this one,
Rip and tear.
see, there we go. Tell you just gotta look at it, but it's kind of hard to see through it.
Drones are live.
This one gives you just, you know that they're not going to be able to push all the way to the back to try to clear, and they have to commit. But again, if they're committing,
Throwing flashing.
you're flashed. And you could also be playing pretty much
Blinding.
wherever you want, depending on what spot of the flash you want. You just gotta remember to like turn a little bit more in. And that's where this deeper wall is good to know if anybody actually executed. I mean, same way with this one too, but that. And I like these because I also will stop somebody from swinging straight out immediately.
Blinding.
Bam,
Drones are live.
bam. But
Drones
you're
are
probably
live.
using that anyway. This is more if you want to play even further back.
Retrieving flash.
Now, the other flash, while I'm here, oh, and I guess I'll throw this in.
Launching thorns.
If you looked at,
Launching thorns.
oh, right, I was slow.
Rip and tear.
If you look at my sunset, you'll see that it's kind of the same box trick where you just place this down.
Drones are live.
If, now this one's more so, of course, this not going to happen if they're already diffusing, but if you put that down and they're slowed and you have a molly on top of that, they're dead. Maybe not Gecko Molly,
Thorns activated.
but they're dead.
Drones are live.
And then for those, all of these, you see they're not in the same spot, right? These are for post plant. Basically, you want to just aim at the
Launching
door.
thorns.
I guess I shouldn't do it when I'm slowed, so you could get it accurate.
Launching thorns.
Whatever, you're probably in a rush.
Rip and tear.
Want to make sure people come out. However you do it,
Drones are live.
covers that.
Thorns activated.
You cover that. Like you basically want to aim for that door. If you aim higher, you can get it to bounce there. But you know, just if you're quick running,
Launching thorns.
bam.
Thorns are live.
You know you have that for the post plant. Maybe chuck 2 of those because that's a common spot while you throw this wall up here. And hey, again, just if you're feeling funky,
Thorns activated.
throw something like that if you have time for it. Another post plant thing, of course, people will play drop. Just
Set.
throw some walls down it, whatever it may be.
Thorns are live.
Throw that back there. Now you can also,
Placing wall trap.
again, I shouldn't do it when I'm slow, but as you can see, even when slowed, I can do it. Get back here,
Placing wall trap.
throw that wall back. Now you know that if it was like a full team flood here, they're either going to have to trip it early to regroup or whatever, and of course, somebody can still be playing here. You have a duelist get up here that has an escape or something like that. Fuck it, maybe chamber 2 if you want to play double sentinel. Or pro play, we'll see maybe. You throw that up there. Get one, get out. They try to chase, wall pops, they're stuck. Whoever's down here can know that they're stuck. Can also place one of these
Flashing.
for the information. If you want to play down here,
Blinding. Retrieving flash.
depends on where you are. I wouldn't place it too close because again, you can see it at 10 meters. So right about here. Now, I will say if they come out, you know, after somebody trips the wall, right? They come out and somebody pops that because they don't want to get flashed later, you now have that information. So
Retrieving
that's
flash.
post plant. And of course, if that's up the wall up there burning time, they either have to go stairs or drop.
Thorns
And if you
activated.
place that wall, I guess you could still throw vines up there, but you probably have one vine for the post plant, and the one that's probably more valuable is probably right this area. So,
Rip and tear.
you know, go about it that way. That's A. Oh, the other thing about A that I like about Vyse on this map, you have this. Now, you go, there's no way you have time to place that and run all the way around. Thankfully, Lotus is big for both ways, where you go, you're not going to have all that time to do all that shit before barrier drops. They're also not going to have time to get out and punish you for whatever the fuck you want to do, scaling like free of charge. So that's the one thing about Lotus where it's just like, yeah, it's big and it's going to take you a time to set up and while barriers are dropping and whatnot, but they can't push you. So you have time. You can place this here, breakable, so that you know that if you have stopped them from, you've dissuaded them from coming in, you know that they're not coming in through here. Oh, the other flash that I wanted to show you is that you can, bam, you can
Retrieving
even,
flash.
if you want, you can put it here
Blinding crack.
to the same effect.
Retrieving
I don't
flash.
like that one as much, but
Flash placed.
bam, you have information if they're playing
Flashing.
here. You have a friend that's just like, yeah, I think they're scaled up.
Flashing.
Flash them. Somebody swing. Maybe if you want to do it.
Blinding.
I don't think so, because you're probably playing this side too, but you can play this side.
Blinding.
And now they know that you're here, so then they go, alright, we're not going into the Vyse setup. And that's the other thing. Vyse has, you can activate it from wherever, so we're going to do that one just for the sake of it. All the way over here, or over there, whatever. You could be playing B with your entire setup, because now they think that
Flashing.
you're set up on A. Because you
Retreating
flashed
flash.
them, so they go, alright, well, we're just going to rotate to B. And in B, they have some mean surprises waiting for them, because B is a pretty strong hold. You hear breakable going down,
Thorns are live.
easy. They're not coming through all of that. And this is like a post plant wall that I put, but it works both ways. If you are confident that they're not going to come through main for a B push, and they're just going to come through whatever, say your team has a punish to keep them from coming B, and you just want to stop them from, I'm sorry, you have a punish to keep them from going A, and they feel that they're not going to come B main either, you can throw this wall and split that too. Make it tough on them, and then bam. But yeah, here's a wall, bam. And the thing about the flashes is that I suggest you try to get it kind of over there, because that'll give you them coming out at about there, as well as people coming in. What on earth? Sorry, I was getting a weird notification. You know, people coming in. As for the walls,
Retrieving flash.
typical barrier, pretty effective. Somebody has to eat it. As long as you let your smoker know not to just be an absolute bonobo and cover this, so you can catch whatever that is. You can play this side, completely safe. That one, you go, man, that's deep out there. They're not executing past the wall. And this is another thing that, tip from just playing Vyse. Maybe just keep one of your razor vines in hand. Don't place it all the way down, and that way once the wall actually is triggered, and they, especially on a site like this where you don't have a safe spot to put it down without it possibly getting broken by util immediately, like Raise Nade, or, okay, nobody's playing Sova on this map, but you know, the shock dart if you really want. Wait for the wall to trigger, flash the person, get the kill, and then
Launching thorns.
toss out the vines after. Because you still have 7 seconds to react. If you can, you should be probably getting the kill and have time to throw vines after. Uh, you probably should with a 7-second indestructible wall. This wall, just purely once burial goes down and you
Wall
want to
set.
stop having any information be faked out on you, where it's just like, oh, are they actually through the wall? Just stop all that because you know your wall hasn't triggered. And kind of a tip for this entire map is these boxes, like the leaves are your friends.
Wall set.
So place that. Um, have to get here. If they jump peek that, they're kind of safe, but if they're in a rush, guess what? They're fucked. Post plant. You have to be careful. You cannot place this one in a rush or else you get
Placing wall trap.
that. So you have to
Placing wall
make
trap.
sure, like, if that's smoked, you have to, honestly, you might even just want to say, fuck it, throw it all the way back and just take your chances that it, does the thing. But you can't really look too close on this. You place spike.
Wall set.
Let's see, where's the furthest you could go with
Placing
it
wall
being
trap.
not effective? Yeah, like once you can't get too silly with it, but don't place it too close. You can also in the post plant. You could probably get to here in most post plant situations,
Placing
but
wall trap.
there, bam, bam, and of course razor vines. Just chuck them wherever the hell.
Plunging thorns.
This one isn't the most intricate, but you do have to worry about, like, if you throw a wall in place, don't put your vines there because it will break your vines.
Thorns are live.
So, bam,
Thorns are live.
whatever you may be, whatever it may be.
Rip and tear. Thorns activated.
Toss
Rip
them
and
that
tear.
way.
Thorns activated.
You get the point. Nothing really funky you can do on these, unfortunately.
Launching thorns. Thorns are live.
If you feel like you have time, you can throw it on that box, but I don't recommend it. So, it doesn't really make the much of a difference. Oh, one thing I should also mention, but you already can figure out. You've seen where KJ ult is good, but this can be even a little bit better. If you just want to play, you hear that people are making a commotion, a ruckus out there,
Bring me the arsenal.
rip
My
their
ultimate's
arsenal.
ready. Bring me the
Rip the arsenal.
My ultimate's ready.
You can probably get here,
Bring me the arsenal.
have a
My
punish,
ultimate's ready.
whatever it may be, a raise, come flying around with a rocket, unless they prepared for it with the best Deagle one shot they've ever seen, then they're getting people up to here with that ult. So Rogue's pretty good in that sense too, especially because you can play here and get much of the same effect.
Bring me the arsenal.
Now, mind
My
you, they can
ultimate's
still
ready.
play
There.
Rebel's corner, but if you do something like this, you got the walkout
Bring me the arsenal.
for
My
A
ultimate's ready.
and B main. Do it over here. Guess what? You have B, and if they're trying to split from mound,
My ultimate's ready.
perfect. And you know how it goes on the other side too. Just everybody always comes here.
Bring me the arsenal.
You
My
already know
ultimate's
that they
ready.
can't fight that. I guess I should show attacking on the other side too. But again, Killjoy ult.
Bring me the
We know what it
arsenal.
does.
My ultimate's ready.
Now this one's a problem because
Bring me the
why?
arsenal.
But
My ultimate's ready.
you can now fight Rebel safely. No, not so safely, I guess, unless you have this smoked off somewhere. But finally, we end at C. With all the things that I found for C. That, of course, is post plant, post plant, post plant, post plant. This is good post plant. Alright, you just, once these are here, chuck it in there. You know why this is good post plant?
Thorns
Because
activated.
that covers that and that. Love that one. Wall, of course, for if somebody has to come get the defuse. Da 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 da. You get this. Now, let's talk about the actual setups for playing on the defense side of Lotus C. That set barrier, so you get early information. They can jiggle peek it, but you at least know somebody's coming. Same to this extent.
Wall set.
You can play boxes though. If somebody trips that, it'll pop up, but you at least have the information that you could have had the information that somebody was if somebody's trying to jiggle peek it. You can play box, fuck them over. This one, I like. You might get it every now and again. It's funny, but this is one that if you have somebody else baiting for you, like over here, or if you're the one baiting and you're playing back here and somebody else is here, what you can do is they trigger that wall, flash goes off, you whoever it is, and they probably got flashed out here in main too a little bit, or if you're just that bold, I've hopped on this wall before, got 1, 2, 3, or whatever the hell. So you can do that too. Um, this wall, you have to get it like on that corner so that comes all the way here. You have this box. Now, that's to say that if you throw that wall, you clearly don't expect somebody to be lurking because or creeping up because they can get on that box, bam, and clear it. They can do it that way. But at the same time, I'll give a sneak peek into what I was testing on by, and people go like, but then they could just jump over the wall. Yeah, then they're fucking mid-air. Mid-air accuracy trying to shoot you. And if you can't hear a thump go down to get the drop on somebody, that's on you. That's a fucking skill issue at that point. Now, do I recommend all of them? No, but, you know, you can do it. But throw it on this box. They cannot do the same thing because they will get pushed over the line. And that one, again, you're just not expecting them to throw there, but that's why we have these on the ledges instead of down on the ground where a raised nade can break them. Now, at this, if people get used to it, they can just try to shoot your shit and break it, and then you can just pretty much readjust. What the hell? Slightly. Whatever it may be. You can even throw this one deep so that they can't come. The whole point. You get that. Not as much fun things on this ledge because it kind of doesn't clear anything. As you can see, that's about the farthest it goes. But as you can see for that wall that I have thrown, that's a good marker too. Of course, if you throw this wall, don't throw these vines because they will break. But see how much that fucking covers? As for this one, like I said, the leaves are your friend. You kind of just have to come to the right and aim at the top of the leaves. That gives you that. It's a fun one. It's a fun one. How effective it may be will vary. Same story over here. Come over here and you gotta aim. Come on. It's always when you want to record that it doesn't want to do it.
Placing wall trap.
Slight to the left. Cool, you got that out. Now, why do I have thorns up there? Because bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. These are much more effective because somebody now cannot swing. They can't swing close, that is. They have to swing wide, and you kind of can get prepared for that. Especially if you throw those, then those. They have one moment of safety, but you have a flash that I like to be bam about there. Why is that? That is 13 meters. Alright, you gotta be careful on this one too.
Flash placed. Retrieving flash.
No. As you can see, there's a lot of jank on this map. There you go. You gotta be careful. Because you're going to get some of those things, but anybody trying to swing, any of these things, they're clearing. Bam. Now, the other thing, alright.
Retrieving flash.
I like to throw it on that wall a little bit underneath that thing so you can play about here. You hear them executing. You had a wall right here. or right here. So that's the early trigger.
Thorns activated.
They can't swing hard on you because you have those razor vines. And the reason they're so far back and apart is because you can see them at 4 meters. So you want to give yourself time to
There.
be able to like get them off without somebody seeing that they're just right there. Now, people might nade them away. So that's again one where I don't know. You might want to be careful. Maybe save them in your pocket, and after you know a raised nade has tried to clear something out, it goes off, and then
Rip and tear.
throw it down
Thorns
wherever,
are live.
as long as it gets pretty much that area. And we've already gone through the post plant walls. So yeah, that's most of Lotus from what I've found so far. Yeah, it's pretty decent for her. Pretty damn decent for her.
Retrieving flash.
Post plant flashes,
Flash placed.
that's good on this way because
Lightning.
you can play here. You have that information, and of course they're getting flashed coming in here as well as there. So, but however,
There.
again, you have till about here before they see it. So, if you can hear the retakes coming, you know, you have tons of time. But, and of course, it won't catch people that are already here.
Blinding.
But if they're already here, then they're not on the spike, basically. So, that's Lotus. Um, fairly decent. I was having a tough time trying to figure out how to play Lotus actively without getting in the server to do customs and find some of this shit. So hopefully this will help somebody else too. We'll see. We'll see who uses what. All right. If you liked the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.